Ladies and gentlemen, digital marketing pulses, welcome to another episode where we talk about the untold truth about Drake's music empire, which includes billions in hits. If you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to Digital Marketing Pulse for more episodes. And without wasting time, let's get into it. Imagine a teenage Aubrey Graham, Forest Hill kid, face you recognize from the TV set, staring as Jimmy Brooks on Degrassi The Next Generation. He swapped high school melodrama and wheelchair scenes for late-night studio session, quietly shredding the industry's unwritten rule that actors cannot rap. Spoiler alert.
We cling to one another, a storm raging around. My head slips under the water.
He didn't politely disagree. He rewrote the memo and then sold it back to the world with interest. Born in Toronto on the 24th of October 1986, Drake used that on-screen familiarity as raw material, a built-in narrative, emotional hooks, and an audience that already cared. He moved from acting into music through independent mixtapes, which include Room for Improvement, Comeback Season, and then the breakout So Far Gone, which he released in 2009, which turned curiosity into momentum. By June 2010, his debut studio album, Thank Me Later, debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, proof this was a deliberate brand pivot and not a hobby. Hip-hop in the late 2000s wasn't a playground, it was a colosseum run by hardened street poets, men who wore their scars like diamond chains. Authenticity wasn't optional, it was the currency. And here comes Aubrey from Forest Hill, Canada's clean-cut suburban kid, whose biggest struggle was getting written out of a teen soap opera. To rap purists, Drake was an alien life form. He was the sushi to the rap world steak, foreign and maybe confusing. No street corner resume, no police blotter headlines, no bullet wounds, just a soft-spoken Canadian who sang almost as much as he rapped. The question wasn't, can he make hits? It was, can he ever be respected in a culture that worships survival over sentiment? Spoiler alert, the answer annoyed a lot of purists. From a marketing lens, Drake's problem was a classic brand mismatch. His product includes emo rap hybrid, half sung, half rapped, did not align with the existing category expectations, which includes being tough, gritty, and street certified. That's usually the death of a brand, unless you redefine the category itself. Then the plot twist, Lil Wayne in 2009 handpicked Drake, signed him to Young Money, and gave him the ultimate industry baptism, a co-sign from the hottest rapper alive at the time. Wayne basically shouted, "This kid's not a gimmick," and the game changed. Think of it as influencer marketing before Instagram. Wayne lent Drake credibility by association. Enter So Far Gone. So Far Gone was the mixtape that broke the internet and made mixtapes the real deal. This wasn't just a mixtape, it was a cultural detonation. Best I Ever Had hit Billboard's top 10, and suddenly the Degrassi kid wasn't just that Canadian actor trying to rap, he was charting. Next came his first platinum single. By then, the internet had already flipped. Blogs, MySpace, and early YouTube made Drake omnipresent. Fans didn't wait for radio DJs to validate him. They downloaded, streamed, and circulated his music at scale. The streets didn't crown him, the internet did. Drake didn't just make it, he broke the machine. Take Care cemented him, Nothing Was the Same elevated him, but then came the God-level runs. 2016's Views debuted with over 1 million equivalent units, his biggest launch ever. Critics panned it, the internet memed it, but guess what? It dominated streaming like a monopoly. The album sat at #1 for 13 weeks, the longest reign for a male artist in nearly 2 decades. Translation? The memes didn't kill him, they marketed him. 2018's Scorpion. If you had a phone, you were playing it. It had back-to-back mega hits, which included God's Plan and In My Feelings, which turned every Uber ride into a Drake concert. He didn't just drop songs, he dropped social moments that hijacked culture. 2022's Honestly Nevermind, everyone laughed at him for going full dance, full house, then the clubs opened their doors again, and suddenly those same critics were 2 drinks deep screaming on the dance floor. Genre bending wasn't a risk, it was a market expansion strategy. Some Sexy Songs for You, which he released in 2025 with Party Next Door, earned his 14th #1 album, tying him with Jay-Z and Taylor Swift among solo artists. From a marketing lens, Drake doesn't chase trends, he swallows them whole. When the product is paired with meme culture, TikTok dances, and streaming algorithms, you don't just release albums, you engineer dominance. At this point, debating Drake's legitimacy is like debating gravity. The stats look like a Fortune 500 quarterly report, 100 plus Billboard Hot 100 entries, more than Elvis, the Beatles, and basically every artist your parents still brag about. 13 number one hits. At this rate, he could open a museum of his own chart toppers. 12 number one albums. Each release is basically a scheduled cultural blackout. 4 Grammy wins, which he famously downplays because Drake doesn't need a gold statue when he's got global market share. As of April 2025, he holds the most top 5 hits in Billboard Hot 100 history, outpacing even the Beatles. His latest single, What Did I Miss?, just pushed him to 81 Hot 100 top 10 hits, the most ever by any artist. Drake isn't just an artist anymore, he's a corporation with feelings. The kid who once got side-eyed for being too soft now runs an empire that spits out billions in streams, millions in sales, and cultural moments on demand. He took rejection, you're not enough, you're just an actor, you sing too much, and alchemized it into a business model. Today, every criticism is basically free advertising. The memes, the hate, even the ghostwriting scandal, none of it stopped the machine. If anything, it made him harder to kill than a Marvel villain. Through OVO sound, his Nike collabs, and even his infamous Toronto mansion, which looks like a Bond villain's Airbnb, Drake has redefined what it means to be a rapper in the digital era. He isn't just making music, he's manufacturing cultural dominance. From a content strategy view, Drake hacked distribution. Instead of begging gatekeepers, he used digital-first channels to bypass them. He leveraged Wayne's endorsement as social proof, then let viral traction do the heavy lifting. Marketing translation: if you can't beat the gatekeepers, ignore them and go straight to the consumers. From a content strategy perspective, Degrassi gave him authenticity and backstory. The mixtape circuit gave him credibility, and a smart, steady rollout converted viewers into listeners. Translation for creators: use your past as provenance, not a liability, and build a narrative arc your audience can follow, root for, and eventually pay for. Marketing breakdown: those numbers aren't just accolades, they are KPIs. Drake turned his career into a data-driven empire, using streaming, social virality, and brand partnerships like Nike, Apple, Sprite, and Amazon to measure and scale cultural influence. Marketing takeaway: Drake mastered vertical integration. Music feeds memes, memes fuel streams, streams justify tours, tours sell brands, and brands feed back into the mythos. At this point, he's not a person, he's an algorithm with a beard.